Obviously, the people of Atlantic City know my character. What they elected.
You're driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't.
Wait a second. Marty? Is that you, Marty? It's Marty, September 15, 2021. Marty, what is happening, my brother?
I like Laquetta Small. I've been a Laquetta Small supporter.
Obviously, the people of Atlantic City know my character. What they elected.
I'm like, fuck you, and fuck her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. Now ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit?
It's so nice. It really is.
Obviously, the people of Atlantic City know my character. What they elected criminal.
Although that's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. With the fuck you.
Hey, that's about it. CeeLo Green, brother. Hey, Marty, did you shart by any chance? Looking all handsome and stuff. Hey, how are you, everybody? It's the White Bread Report returning. We've been busy. We're saving Atlantic City, trying to become more integrated, more equitable. We just got back from the West Coast getting the greasy Gavin Newsom back in there for the governorship. That's how we roll. Hey, it's AC Prime Time, the webcast. We tell you the real news. And if we don't know the real news, we point to the people that have the real news, like, Breaking AC, Linda Cohen. Or, of course, it's the White Bread Report on AC Prime Time, the webcast. Yeah, September 15, 2021. And Marty looks pretty good. He does not dress well. Dresses in the dark. He looks like he just made an accident in his pants. Dresses like a pumpkin. Yeah. Marty, you had so much promise, Marty. You had so much promise. I mean, look at me. I'm trying to become more culturally aware of your culture, Marty, because you tell me you have a separate culture. So even though I'm white on the inside, I will never be less white on the inside. That's the curse that I carry around with me, the cross that I bear on my shoulders. See on the right? See that? You see? I do my best. I get in the oven, 15 minutes, 400 degrees. I can fake looking brown. But deep inside, I'm white. But at least I'm working on it. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. I mean, I remember back in the day when you and I, Marty, you were such a cute little boy. Marty, you always would try to sneak into the pantry. That's right. Into the refrigerator. Not easy feeding you. As you can see, Marty, even in this photograph, you used to be a good-looking kid, or a very handsome boy. I don't want to misgender you, so I apologize in advance, just in case I did. But if you notice, Marty, your body is a good shape and a size, but your head is already growing large. You see, God, Marty, bestowed upon you a very large cranium, very large skull, because he had much, much promise for you. He thought you were going to fill that void between your ears, Marty, with something that could turn the city of Atlantic City around. That's why he gave you plenty of space to grow that brain, Marty. Unfortunately, you met Laquetta and things went downhill after that. You did not take advantage of what God gave you, the opportunity to turn Atlantic City around. Marty, this is going to be a good AC Prime Time, Marty. Tell all your friends. The White Bread Report we're getting down, and we're doing our best to try to convert to be more inclusive, because more people of color, and we want you to accept us, Marty Small, Mayor Marty Small of Atlantic City, because there are certain people in our community, in the white community, Marty, no matter how much you try, they will never be less white. These are two examples of, if you go to Wikipedia or your Funkin' Wagnalls or your encyclopedia and you look under the word Caucasian or white, these photos show up at the very top. I'm not kidding. You ain't going to change them, Marty. You ain't going to change them. I love you, Marty. So go to acprimetime.com. We share the news that nobody else wants to talk about because everybody's woke and everybody's, compromised. Compromised. You know what that means, right? They're motivated to say one thing over another. That's right, Harry. Scott, son of a... Two white guys. Oh, by the way, a lot of patriots showed up this couple days ago, September 11th, 2021. 20-year anniversary of 9/11, the attack on the homeland. Also a 20-year anniversary or 20-year deal to remember we've been in Afghanistan for that long. Over 1,000 people showed up on Jackson Avenue right there in Atlantic City on the boardwalk to commemorate those who we lost that day, close to 3,000 people. There's two people, at least two here in the Atlantic City area, that lost their lives that day. Saraceni, the pilot, and O'Neill, the World Trade Center security guy. They both died on that day. They're both from Atlantic City. And it's amazing how, when I see how spectacular that both Atlantic City's there, Ventnor's there, 1,000 Patriots, Leather Rock was there, Joseph Palillo was there. Leather Rock. I love her. Subscribe to her YouTube channel, Leather Rock. She's a unique conglomeration that you'll love. You'll be surprised. You'll be enchanted. Leather Rock. And Joseph Palillo, always looking pretty dapper. It was a great day. He was patriotic. And invited to speak was Atlantic City Mayor Marty Small. He was unable to make it. He was in Atlanta at the Philadelphia Eagles football game. Marty could not attend the September 11th ceremony right there, Jackson Avenue on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. He had to go to the Atlantic Falcons stadium to see his birds. Press of Atlantic City didn't cover it. This kind of just tells you that stuff like this doesn't really matter to Marty Small, nor to the governor of New Jersey. They don't want to let people know about. I bet you ask any kid in Atlantic City High School, hey, tell me what 9/11's about. They wouldn't be able to answer that question. Because Marty and his wife, Laquetta, Atlantic City High School principal, Barry Caldwell, the fucking superintendent, they don't want none of this stuff talked about. It's shameful that Marty was not there to speak. Didn't show up. He's a scumbag. He's a piece of shit. And we recommend do your best not to send your kids to the Atlantic City School District. Marty doesn't. He doesn't send his kids there. Neither does his wingman, Ernest Corsi. That blow. There you go. Marty typically doesn't feel comfortable around white people unless they're pulling strings and they're paying him handsomely. Marty hates when he's reminded that he's paid off to act and think and do certain things. But they removed his testicles in order to get that job. There you go. Phil is not a good dresser. I don't know what's going on. Money's not the issue. Both of these nimrods can't dress. Yeah. Oh, here's a picture of Bart Blatstein standing next to who some refer to as a protecting pedophiles. You know, that whole thing's still going on. Yeah, go to Breaking AC and see what the latest update is on whether the Atlantic City School District is safe from predators, if the vetting process has been beefed up, and who signed off on Laquetta Small's cousin, Cayenne, getting a New Jersey state gig with kids after already being fired for his nonsense and his kids' sleepovers when he was in the elementary school with Laquetta. I would feel uncomfortable taking photos next to a Marty Small, pretending like he's not looking the other way. This is uplifting. Marty Small with Cash McKinley. Cash with a K. He's Marty's marijuana czar or something like that, some kind of bullshit title, but it'll have nothing to do with anything in regards to cannabis. That's all state-based. That's all state-controlled. Yeah, but here's 75 grand cash. You shut the fuck up. Just go promote Marty. Make sure you wear a mask. Marty does not have to. He has superpowers. He's the superfly super spreader. He's Marty Small. And God bless Tom Forkin. He could win, but he doesn't take the gloves off. He'll be too much of a gentleman. Tom Forkin, in order for him to beat Marty Small in November and become the next mayor of Atlantic City, you got to go for the jugular. But Tom won't. He won't. He has to go to every school board meeting and speak, every council meeting and speak. You have to highlight what's under the hood with Mayor Marty Small. But he won't. He'll talk about, we got to clean the streets. Nope, you know what to do. You know what to do, Tom. Got to kick Marty in the nuts because he's going to do that to you. Oh, matter of fact, here's Marty at some kind of food tasting thing. I think it's in Lower Chelsea. I'm not sure exactly who is in this photograph, but there's somebody. Okay, in the white cap, that's AC Mike Lopez. That motherfucker's everywhere. It disturbs me. He haunts me. AC Mike Lopez. He's on the radio all the time. You walk down the boardwalk, up on the fucking screens. Jesus. Stickers on telephone poles. He's a future pickleball star. Look at Mike. Look at him right now. He's looking at Marty. Marty is he's double dipping that effing chip. And look, you can see that. Marty has no manners. He's double dipping into the salsa, breaking a huge etiquette rule. But Marty don't care because, it's about the culture. So I'm not sure if AC Mike asked Mayor Marty Small of Atlantic City whether or not that lawsuit is still happening, against him, his wife, Laquetta, Barry Caldwell, the school supervisor, in regards to because they're all defendants in that child sex abuse case. Yeah. Who signed off on Kian Fraser? Kian used to live with Marty for a while. Yeah. For all the details, go to breakingac.com, breakingac.com. And right next to AC Mike, I think it's somebody who I have a massive crush on. Is that Elizabeth Tyrannic? Oh, jeez. She's going to like this. She's going to enjoy the narration from A Slice of White Bread, who has a secret crush on her. I think that's Elizabeth. She's the queen of Lower Chelsea, I think. She's far more attractive than guys like Lance Landgraf or Harvey Kesselman. I don't like the way that Mike Lopez is sitting that close to Elizabeth, but, I'm just saying. And Marty, stop double dipping. Sweet baby Jesus. Close your eyes. Turn away. I guarantee you this photograph, these 6 pictures, are not hanging up anywhere in the Atlantic City School District. If you show this to Marty Small, he may not even know who the hell these people are. Marty doesn't know who these people are, even though sometimes they show up in Atlantic City. Is it a Supreme Court justice? Is it a media and news personality? A sheriff? World renowned? Mr. West? A guy that should have beat the greasy Gavin Newsom? That's Mr. Larry Elder. Or this gentleman right here in the lower left-hand corner. In the scrubs. Dr. Ben Carson. You know Dr. Ben Carson? Marty? Kaleem? James Whitehead? Jimmy? I know you were there, Jimmy, but you were hiding. Dr. Ben Carson was here in Atlantic City a few weeks back. No photographs. Should be front page. Marty fist bumps him and gets out of there. Dr. Ben Carson, Health and Human Services, last administration, and he's a neurosurgeon specialty with kids, separated 2 kids. Out of nowhere, this guy showed that there's much opportunity. And Marty doesn't want this kind of stuff to be. I guarantee you, Barry Caldwell does not allow these types of stories to be shared within the school district of Atlantic City. Marty's not a patriot. They don't even know what the Holocaust is. It's shameful that Marty's folks, his supporters, were not there for the 9/11 in Atlantic City, the 9/11 ceremony, because Marty is a loser. Matter of fact, for some reason, Marty has a special talent to make everybody forget his serious flaws. Like in this photograph, inside of a church, not sure which one, surrounded by pastors or bishops or priests, men of the cloth, holy men. They support Marty Small. But you know that each and every one of them know that there's a quote-unquote alleged cover-up in regards to what really happened with the cousin of the Small family, bouncing around as a substitute teacher in the Atlantic City School District. It's like no red flags? What's going on here? Oh, things got reported, but they're all foot dragging. For all the details, go to breakingac.com. Linda Cohen tracks this really good. But how could these holy men, look the other way when it comes to child abuse? And then the cousin of the Smalls not only got laid off or fired from his educational substitute teacher gig, a couple months later gets hired by the state. Child Protective Services. How'd that happen? Who signed off on that? These holy men in Atlantic City, they probably should ask Marty about that. In the meantime, I recommend people should not take a photograph next to Marty Small. The guy's dirty. Don't condone his behavior in regard to how he treats kids. His kids don't go to Atlantic City High School District stuff. He don't send his kids here. Are you kidding me? My man, Steve Young. Brother Steve Young. I listened to him on WEHA. Oh, fire and brimstone. And there's a fair amount of content that is directed at white people. It's sweet. The good thing about it, it's open, it's honest, but it is scary. Hate speech? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Here's Steve Young speaking to some young Stockton University students. Yeah, Mr. Steve, can you tell us more about how bad it is for us to be white? We do apologize. Look at Steve. He's salivating. Like, get these young white people, these impressionable white boys. I'm going to tell him about this the whole thing. I love Steve, but keep him out of the school. Just keep him out. Or if Steve Young is here doing a little seminar for the incoming class at Stockton, right next door should be Seth Grossman for the other side of this issue. Steve Young. Don't put him in the schools. Crazy. Oh, here's Steve Young with one of his best friends, Phil Murphy. They're both very handsome individuals. I love. Let me tell you, it gets pretty volatile, man. And you better be okay if you are lacking melanin like me. But as you can see, Steve, I'm trying to be an ally of the movement. The movement. I'm not sure what it is, or the black agenda. I know you want a maternity. I think that's really pretty smart. Have more maternity offerings for local women, or I'm sorry, birthing people. Lil Nas? What if Lil Nas is playing in Atlantic City and has to deliver his baby? The fuck, Steve? We got to do something about it. Get Mazzio on the phone. Get Mazzio over here. Mazzio is working. I'm all over the place. But anyway, Steve Young on WEHA Gospel. I do agree. I think there does need to be some more maternity opportunities. Maternity ward, I guess, is lacking. Steve's been talking about that, but maybe he could, reach out to his main homeboy, Vince Mazzeo, and say, Vince, I know you're busy with the abortion stuff. You're trying to pass that bill. You're a co-sponsor. I mean, yeah, that abortion bill that Vince Mazzeo is busy with, that's why he can't help you, Steve. It's not easy because, a huge percentage of abortion clinics are located in urban areas. We should probably kind of get more maternity, for birthing people. Thanks, Steve. Anyway.
See, the governor has created a master and plantation atmosphere in Atlantic City through our politics and using the mayor as that slave. So on that plantation, which is Atlantic City, what happened in our school system with Kyene Frazier working under and living in Marty Small's house when these children was abused, and then going to other schools throughout this district
and working for the state,
and then getting a job working for the state, working for the person that gives him orders. So
wake up, people.
So all this is not by coincidence. It's about truth and actual facts.
Here's how you know Phil Murphy, Tammy Murphy does not care for the black community. Myself, Brother Steve, and several other individuals met with Miss Tammy Murphy when she was at Pennsylvania Avenue School, took pictures with her, spoke with her about the maternity ward coming back to Atlantic City, and she said she was staying with us and behind us. She never spoke about it again. Phil Murphy, if he cared about Black Lives Matter in all the black communities throughout the state of New Jersey, you have not one visual of this man helping paint Black Lives Matter on one street. You have not heard him speak about how much he's behind Black Lives Matter and he got 80% of the votes of the black community. There was a video recently where he became frustrated with black people and he lashed out. He also made one of the most racist statements you can make in public about the black community. He said, when you take the chains off of them niggas, when you release them out of the chains and it's hot outside, them slaves start killing. Right. Anytime someone white say out their mouth, see what happened when you take the chains off of the slaves and when they get hot outside, how they act? What do that tell you, people? No. That's not my words. That's what your governor said.
That runs the city of Atlantic City, which is a majority black community.
Here again.
Taking the shackles off. The shackles. When you talk about shackles, you're talking about slavery. You cannot go back on that terminology.
Holy moly. That was a few days ago on a gospel radio station here in Atlantic City. Holy shit. But there's something very refreshing. They don't hold back. They're proud of their views. But do I know if any of what that gentleman said about Mr. Murphy is true? I have no idea. I have no freaking idea. But it's a public broadcasting opportunity there, and every week Steve Young is on the scene at WEHA Gospel Radio because he's black and he's proud. And that song, he always opens up with that James Brown song, and it's like an earworm. It stays in your head for at least a week to remind you that Steve Young is back on the air, to let you know that the Expressway 7, let's hear it for the Expressway 7, they can't understand why they've been arrested. Well, yeah, fucking block the roads. Stupid. Stop it. And don't believe your own press, Steve. Come on. You know you and I go way back. Sort of. But just because the press of Atlantic City claimed that you were peacefully protesting, you know that's bullshit. You blocked the road. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. But I do like how you work the system and come up with the phrase, the Expressway 7. That is pretty cool, I got to admit. I'm trying to be more open and inclusive, Steve. But I want you to be more inclusive, too. I want you to be able to invite me into your agenda. Whatever that might be, it's fluid from what I understand. But I get it, Steve. We know it. I love Steve.
See, the governor.
Let's see. Oh, I got some new photographs, too. This was taken maybe a couple of weeks ago. This was a photograph from the gun buyback. You know, it kind of makes the community feel safer somewhat to take guns off the streets, and we'll give you some money. A lot of the guns are broken or old or non-threatening because they're maybe hunting guns or whatever. Old cannons, whatever. But the illegal guns, the ones that do the real damage, yeah, they didn't come back in. No. But, you know, they mean well. But, oh, man, hold on to your guns and keep them legal. Because did you know it's kind of weird in regards to the Second Amendment that the cities, the towns, the states that allow for open carry, easier to get permits to carry a firearm for self-defense, those towns and states are a hell of a lot safer. Look at Chicago and Philadelphia, Atlantic City. Pretty strict gun rules. People getting shot up all the time, especially teens. So that would lead me to believe that that stupid siren, that curfew thing that goes off at 10 o'clock every night, stupid. Oh, we were about to rob your ass and kick you up and bloody you up a little bit and record it for our Facebook and TikTok. But I just heard the alarm, the curfew. I got to get out of here. Can I meet you tomorrow night so I can kick your ass again and continue this fun activity? Thank you. And make sure whatever I steal from you is under $900 because ain't going to happen to me. Thank you. I don't carry ID, so I'll just say I'm 14. Hey, you need weed? What you need? Got some nice cannabis for you. Anyway, so it's Kaleem. He's pretty useless. Mr. Armada's right there. Nice gentleman. There's Marty Small, looking pretty slender, but a stupid idiot. He's not a big fan of he's bullshit. There's Vince Mazzio, and it's amazing he found the time to show up for this photo op because he's busy with the co-sponsorship of that very interesting, very exciting to Vince, the abortion bill that they're going to push through, where drive-through abortions and even a Kaleem Shabazz, as long as he has some alcohol and some sharp blades, can perform an abortion. That's not true. I'm exaggerating. It's satire. But yeah, it's pretty aggressive, this abortion bill. Stop in, pick up some apples, some fresh apple, maybe apple pie from Vince. Ask him what that abortion thing's all about. He'd like to tell you. And how that lines up. I think he's Christian, right? Anyway, and right here, this is that should be the police chief officially, Mr. Sarkos. So disrespectful, demoralizing. That's the police chief, Mr. Sarkos. Call him chief when you see him. And just shake your head that Mr. Murphy is doing this to the city of Atlantic City and Mr. Sarkos. Unbelievable. And there you go. Black Lives does matter to Gary Hill. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but I'm pretty sure it's not about increasing safety throughout the Atlantic City School District to keep our kids safe, get the school grades up, get the predators out, upgrade the security cameras, stuff like that, and get Barry Caldwell out of there as soon as possible. You already padded his pension. There you go. Black Lives Matter. Marty's very proud of that as he stands in front of a boarded up Starbucks, getting ready for some understanding and peaceful protesting. On the right-hand side, that's Marty. He's not a fan of the police. I know he's not. Arrested 13 times. That worked out pretty good, didn't it? Painting Black Lives Matter on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Photo ops. Did nothing. Photo op. Did it help the black community? Hell no. Did it screw up the neighborhood? Hell yeah. $40,000 to rip it up. Stupid. Stupid. There's the king of stupid right there. That stupid sweatshirt, whatever that's about. I can assure you, Marty, God is not on your side. You and your lovely wife, Laquetta. Laquetta? How do you pronounce her name? You and Laquetta. A second. But, wait a second. I know about Laquetta, right? Wait.
I had a baseball bat and a sprained ankle, and at the time, my fiance, now my wife, was living in Mays Landing Village, and we was having a discussion, and then the property manager came out there, and lo and behold, when I opened the trunk, the bat fell out, and then they tried to make her say that I hit her. You know what goes on in certain areas in Atlantic County. Don't play stupid.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means, Marty. I have no idea.
It's definitely racist.
So you're saying that in Atlantic County, there's an increased level of racism against people of your tone, your skin tone, your melanin count, your melatonin count? What do they call that? No, melanin. I'm sorry, melanin. Yeah, Marty is so oppressed. Keeps playing that card. Not the one inside Ocean Casino or Hard Rock. He's playing the other card. He plays it well. And it doesn't help his own community. That's the thing. My God versus my enemies. Your God is so ashamed of you, Marty, for ignoring that pedophile that was roaming throughout the Atlantic City School District. You know what? To make matters worse, you never apologize. You and Caldwell and your wife, Laquetta, never apologize to the parents or the psychologist. How many other kids are affected? You knew this guy was a bad guy, but because he was your cousin, you let the state hire him. Who signed off on that? Those questions aren't even being asked. Local newspapers not asking, local radio. They're a bunch of fuckers. They're covering up abuse against kids. And that's why I am temporarily allowed to use the word fuckers. Because nothing's worse than someone that not only abuses kids, but how about the people that know about it and look the other way? Does that resonate with you, Marty? You fuck? I feel the same way about the people that support you. They must not care about the kids. That's right. Dumb shit. Boy, that pisses me off. People that disrespect kids, families, and the elderly. Right, Marty? But all lives can't matter, Marty, until Black Lives Matter, right? Did any of that money that was raised help the citizens of Atlantic City? You and Kaleem, you talked about money and other types of benefits coming to Atlantic City due to the riots you guys incited with Steve Young on that day last summer. Everybody boarded up their windows. Millions of dollars of damage. Jobs were lost, Marty. But you got to play along with that narrative. You proud of that? Everybody knew the city would be destroyed, but all of a sudden, well, where's law enforcement? Where's public safety? Destroy the economy to scare everybody. And Marty played right along. Played right along. Right, Marty? Right? Hey, Marty, I was just wondering who taught kids to be this disrespectful? I think you had a role in it. Colleges and universities and schools have a role in it. The media have a role in it. Press of Atlantic City, every time they say the word peaceful protest, every time they type out that word, that phrase, it's a cover-up. It's condoning that kind of nonsense. They know what they're doing. The Press of Atlantic City. They spend all this time talking about 5 people protesting Jeff Van Drew or the Black Lives Matter mini protest by Steve Young a couple days ago, right? But not much space given to the 13 people that died in Kabul as we were exiting everybody in a very mishandled way. The Press of Atlantic City didn't get too deep into that, into the 13 military members who died as we have, haphazardly getting out of Afghanistan. Yeah, Marty. But anyway, Marty, getting back to, you're so lucky you have the media on your side because you're a total fuck. I'm telling you, what are you doing? You're just destroying everything. You could give 2 squats about your own black community. You don't care. There's no way you care. No way. No way. There's no way. AC Mike cares more than you.
Unbelievable.
Open up the door! Open up the door! Hey, yo, big bro, open up that door!
Unbelievable. I don't believe what I'm seeing right now. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This makes me so sad.
There you go. I was there at the very, very beginning of that day last summer in front of the Atlantic City Public Safety Building, the police department building. I was there during the rally, the pre-March rally. Is that what, May 30th or May 31st of 2020? And it was all hate incitement. It was all riot incitement. It's all recorded. Everybody has video of it and audio of it. Steve Young was recommended that we all do a little window shopping. Marty Small was there. Everybody knew that destruction was going to happen and nobody would get arrested that day. But all those jobs were lost. Millions of dollars of inventory stolen. The retailers, all their stock gone. Did it help the black community? Hell no. Where'd that money go? It didn't go to Atlantic City. Dumb. Stupid. Governor Murphy, I don't even know how you... I don't know how you vote for him. I don't know how you vote for Marty. And Tom Forkin better kick him in the nuts if he wants to be the next mayor. He better kick Marty in the nuts hard. And until Tom Forkin gets serious, don't vote for Tom Forkin. Vote for a ham sandwich instead, because it's a waste of time to support any candidate that doesn't go for the jugular with Marty Small. And if I hear one stupid debate, Marty Small versus Tom Forkin, where Marty starts to ask Tom, so, have you had a couple extra beers the other night? That kind of crap. Marty, what was it like when you found out that your cousin was a pedophile and he was in the school district of Atlantic City? Were you pleased to know that your family wasn't anywhere near in the school because you don't send your kids to that school? Stupid. Marty, I'm telling you, the one thing that you did great, I thought, was you put on some entertainment on the Atlantic City boardwalk. Stupid white people kneeling down, begging for forgiveness. It's great fun. It's a good signal, a good message to send that we do in AC, baby. It's another great day in Atlantic City. Stupid white people kneeling down. How did that happen? How the fuck did that happen? I don't know why Atlantic City's so screwy. Oh, I get it. I get it. Marty and Kaleem, they are, if you notice, their hands are in front of them, solemn. Their heads are down. They're, one step behind Gary Hill. Their suits are buttoned. Where Gary, he's more casual, showing off his junk a little bit. But that tells you that, community activists like Marty Small and Kaleem, it's not black or white that they look up to. It's green. But it doesn't come off good in the press. It's bad optics. So they go, it's all about oppression. But you know what? Marty and Kaleem are never oppressed when they're at one of Gary Hill's swanky parties. So, the fuck? Matter of fact, this photograph, two of these three occupy a seat on the CRDA, the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority. Isn't that special? Yeah. Oh, I wonder if Marty Small, the mayor of Atlantic City there on the left, and Gary Hill, the short guy showing off his junk while he's speaking into a microphone, I'm not sure what he's talking about, but he's probably talking about some type of grant, some kind of fundraiser he's going to do to teach inner city Atlantic City kids ballet and self-awareness, or something that may not give them a good career, or help them learn the ropes how to produce Miss America. Not Miss America. Atlantic City couldn't hold on to Atlantic City, Miss America for a few more years so that we had the 100-year anniversary. Hey, we couldn't do that. But as long as no vaginas are involved, we'll support Gary's project, Miss America. It's very funny, but, 2 hours dick jokes. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have Miss America. We have Missed America. Now the thing about it, to be inclusive, I was going to interview Gary about this, the Missed America pageant, where transvestites or transsexual. I don't know what it is, but it's men, or they at one time were men, or they have a certain amount of chromosomes. I don't fucking know. I can't keep up. I think I have to reach out to the LGBTQCR Bebop and at Stockton to get some more updates. But anyway, I wondered, are the people that are competing in Miss America, is it a requirement to have a penis? Is their testosterone levels checked? These are good questions. You might think a slice of white bread is just goofing, but no. This is serious. I take this very seriously. If you're transitioning from penis to non-penis or sans penis, I'm not sure what they call it, are you allowed to compete in Miss America? And I know you're very tolerant, open. It's all about inclusivity, rainbow. I can't keep up. After many years, I spent a lot of time at Studio 6. Studio fucking 6. I was actually in there. It was special. It was very special. Anyway, let's get back to Gary and his awesome Miss America in Atlantic City, the home of where you can't see Miss America. But getting back to who qualifies to be a contestant in Missed America. Carson Kressley, first off, he's very funny. He's a great host. But I wondered if you're inclusive, and it's all about equity and inclusiveness and not being bigoted and transphobic and all that shit. Right, Gary? Gary, I don't know. What are your pronouns? I always, I apologize that I didn't know, how to refer to you. And Marty and Kaleem, let me know what your pronouns are as well so I can be a little more respectful. Anyway, getting back, to be inclusive, Gary, what if a biological female wanted to participate in Miss America? Any thoughts on that? Meaning you were born a female, you transition to being a male. I'm not sure how that happens. Do you surgically attach a phallic thing? I don't know how that works. I don't know. Gary, can you get back to me on that? I just want to make sure that we live up to, how you started Miss America, you and John. I remember that story you told me. John had the club and he met you late at night. It was pretty romantic. I like that. You were sweeping up or something. You probably regret telling me that story. But I love Gary. But everybody in Atlantic City is nice. They're nice. But nobody holds them to account for anything. All right, so if Gary, whatever. But when you mess with kids, that's where you draw the line. And that's where Marty Small and those who protect him are guilty by connection of looking the other way when they know kids are not safe in the Atlantic City School District. Jimmy Whitehead, Derek Brock. I think I watched a stream of Derek Brock. He was eating a big sloppy plate of Gilchrist pancakes, and that son bitch didn't save me any. That's what I remember. Right, Derek? You never called me back because you know what I wanted. I wanted half of your Gilchrist breakfast. You son of a... Remember that morning? I forgot my money. It's a true story. I forgot my money. They know you're good for it. And they knew they were going to get their money for those delicious hot cakes, the blueberry pancakes with the bacon on the side, right? They knew they were going to get their money because they hired me to keep an eye on you, Mr. Brock. It's true. I also keep an eye on that guy, that James Whitehead guy. He's selling all kinds of space-age gizmos that are killing viruses from 30,000 feet out in the atmosphere. That's Jimmy Whitehead. Now, there's no photographs of James Whitehead. He's running for mayor, too. But if he had a photograph of himself and Dr. Ben Carson, who came to Atlantic City a few weeks back, I would support him. But they don't. Those pictures exist? God forbid. Stupid. Anyway. You want to watch a stupid fight? All right. This is stupid. Like, gee, sweet baby Jesus. Sometimes I really hate showing stuff like that, but it's really important to see it because otherwise you'll never believe that kind of crap happens on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. And it's all kinds of colors, cultures, skin colors. Everybody just kicks the shit out of each other. But it's dangerous. Yeah, I would not be on the Atlantic City Boardwalk late at night. No. You got to keep your wits about you at all time. I can assure you. Not good. Not good. Only one person to blame. Marty Small. Oh, two people. And Phil Murphy. That's okay. You can let him slide, right? You can let him slide. Yeah, I think I'll skip over that.
LaToya Dunstan.
No.
To hear about this situation is really mind-boggling, and I just felt as though that we cannot be quiet. Right, wrong, or indifferent, transparency seems to have failed this district for years. Not just this this situation for years. I can relate to this. These children are going to need some type of counseling. For me, I don't believe that my child will return to the district until I see some type of policy and procedure where I know that my children, my own birth children, are protected. Thank you.
Okay. My name's Tom Fork, and I reside here on Bungalow Park. I often think in times like this, in instances like this, there's zero accountability. Zero accountability for the principal, zero accountability for the superintendent and other administrators, including the state monitor. Clearly, the state monitor should have been notified of this, as should have been the superintendent if he didn't already know. Apparently, it looks like there's some form of cover-up with this. Is it the certain parties that were aware of it, if it occurred in the Smalls' home or if it occurred somewhere else? It's not clear, and I find that extremely problematic. Well, is this matter of an independent investigation going to be followed through or not? Will the board vote on that independent investigation this evening?
It's not on the agenda, Mr. Forkin.
And why?
Well, I don't make up the agenda. The superintendent does. You would have to ask him.
Well, that's problematic because he was one of the parties that were subject to the rights notice. Is that correct?
Whoa, Mr. Forkin. It's in your best interest that this is a comment section, and I think it's in your best interest if you have a question for Ms. Riley, I advise you to ask Ms. Riley, and I advise you.
Well, I'm not asking you, Mr. Caldwell.
Well, then your 3 minutes are up, and what we can do is we can move on to the next speaker.
Wow.
Well, that's in your best interest.
Based on your past tort claims toward the district and your past actions in the district, I think
Those tort claims were due to your malfeasance and your sexual abuse and harassment of board members.
Tort claim, please, thank you. Please do not come here tonight grandstanding, Mr. Forkin. So I'm asking you to move on.
You know, Barry, that's a total.
Do me a favor, Mike, do me a favor, mute this individual and let's move on to the next speaker.
Yeah, you know why? Because you don't want to hear the truth, Barry.
Yeah, okay. Move on to the next speaker. Thank you.
That's just another instance.
Thank you. Thank you. Move on to the next speaker.
Amin Muhammad.
I've been listening. My name is Imam Amin.
All right. So Barry, thin skin, doesn't allow. Forkin has to be up everybody's ass at all times with a camera blazing. Do you want to get something done? Borrow from the best tactics. Record everything. Hold them accountable. Grow a set. They're vulnerable. I get a kick out of saying that, knowing that Tracy Riley, the attorney, the solicitor, the law lady for the Atlantic City School Board, I don't know. You think she's, playing neutral? I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm a slice of white bread on AC Primetime, the webcast. If you get on our email newsletter list, go to acprimetime.com. That's acprimetime.com. It's the webcast for September 15, 2021. There you go. That's Tracy Riley. And recently, Linda Cohen, the crime reporter, ace journalist from breakingac.com, is doing exactly what we all should be doing. Turn on your camera and ask questions and point that camera at the people who are public figures. Ask them questions. Tracy's not accustomed to that. She's not accustomed to a slice of white bread. Analyzing and narrating thoughts, opinions, punditry, all about her. And alleged conflicts of interest. Yeah. But it's interesting that Tracy Riley, the law firm where she works, also representing a good friend of mine. You might know him. He's the openly gay former mayor of Atlantic City, Don Guardian. I don't know. I'm not sure what his pronouns are, but often when they're writing about Don Guardian, he's openly gay. I'm not sure what that means. I don't mean that he's affectionate to his husband on the beach during daylight hours. I don't know. Openly. Being a slice of white bread, I don't have a sex or a gender. But if I was identifying as a male, I would probably say I would want to be openly heterosexual. I like doing that. The women I would be with wouldn't like that, but I like that. Being openly heterosexual. Okay, maybe under the blanket a little bit at the beach. All right, just stop it. Just stop it. All right, you want to see video of the lovely and talented Tracy Riley? She's under fire, man. I think that Linda Cohen from Breaking AC, she has bitten deep into Tracy Riley's ankle and not going to let go. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. I'm only exaggerating when I say that, Tracy. You know that. Here we go. You ready? You ready for something here? Hope you enjoyed this very well.
As the solicitor for the board, I advise Mr. Hussein that it's my position that he has a conflict.
Right.
Period.
Can you say if it was a conflict that the superintendent's brother-in-law was your of counsel? Was that a conflict, Ms. Riley?
All right. That was enlightening, wasn't it? Great work, Linda Cohen and BreakingAC.com, bringing a little video montage of what's happening with the Atlantic City School Board, the Board of Education, in regards to finding a new superintendent, which leads me to the next wonderful, heartwarming thought about this gentleman, this handsome guy, a good father, a good family man, from what I understand, a good citizen and all that. But that is Michael Kupelis. He's from Ventnor, and he has been assigned, he's been appointed a seat on the Atlantic City Board of Education. The reason why a Ventnor resident got a seat on the board is because Ventnor sends a fair amount of students for Atlantic City High School. So Ventnor is a sending district, what they call a sending district. And Michael Kupelis, the handsome chap that we're looking at right now, he is the fourth representative from Ventnor over the past 13, 14 months. It's like a revolving door. I think the job is really bad. And because everyone's trying to get in your ear. So this is not a personal attack on Mr. Kupelis, but he should certainly rat out and be transparent about who's influencing how he votes. Michael Kupelis is really what is considered a swing vote. He can make or break a vote. Matter of fact, I think on the first night when he was sitting in that seat on the Atlantic City School Board, for some reason he was well prepared. Michael Kupelis from Ventnor, the Ventnor rep on the school board, he was well prepared to vote on a 12% raise for the outgoing superintendent of schools. That's what Barry Caldwell. Kupelis knew that would be a good move. It was at that point in time that I had lost my love for Michael Coupelas. And then I thought to myself, is he calling that shot on his own, or is somebody influencing that vote? He's a swing vote. Ventnor has to pay like $4 million a year to send 191 kids to Atlantic City High School. Holy crap. Could you imagine what you can do with $4 million for those 191 kids from Ventnor? Step number one, don't send them to Atlantic City High School. That's step number one. You can get them a private school, a charter school, a VOTEC type school for a lot less than $28,000 a year per student. But nah, we send it to Atlantic City, the school district, and we just gave a 12% raise to a superintendent that already has announced his retirement. So is it true, Mr. Michael Coupelas with the beard? Serious looking, quiet, stoic? What's the move there? Why give an outgoing superintendent 12% raise when he could be gone within a matter of months? Oh, to pad his pension. That's not true, is it? No, you wouldn't do that. I find, where or Mr. Capella, are you, did somebody tell you how to vote? Oh, by the way, how are Mr. Coupelas, Ventnor representative, Atlantic City School Board? So proud and so happy to make your acquaintance, sir. How are you going to vote in the future if there's a budget for increased security and cameras in the Atlantic City School District? You want to go with that? Or if there's a budget, for maybe some money to do more investigating and how to make sure sexual predators, kid predators don't get inside our school district. Would you vote yes to beef up that part of the school experience? You don't speak much at the meetings, but you just say yes or no. But your first vote, voting for a 12% raise to an outgoing superintendent, Barry Caldwell, who is corrupt beyond corrupt, you have to be ashamed of yourself a little bit. Look how quick Michael Advina, your predecessor, he got out of there. He goes, what the hell am I doing here? And you don't get paid. Prior to that, Joe McDevitt, or Joe McDevitt, I'm sorry, that's Bob's brother, who passed away after only a couple of weeks being on the job. He was doing a great job. Everybody had so much promise. The Ventnor rep, often they are swing votes. Prior to that, we had somebody that voted no to an outside investigation to investigate the sexual predator problem inside the school district. How do you vote against that? There you go. Nice little medley of photographs. Upper left-hand side with the big giant bun on the top of the head. That's Laquetta Small. That's the wife of Mayor Marty Small to the right there. They're all aglow. Laquetta is now the principal of Atlantic City High School. How she got that gig. Watch those videos of how that happened. That was disgusting. She wants to be the next superintendent of schools. But her track record sucks. Laquetta Small, Atlantic City High School. She has no problem that only 25% of her students can pass a basic math or English test. Laquetta Small's students at Atlantic City High School, only 25% of them can pass a basic math or English test. Never hear about that, do we? Laquetta was unable to warn the state of New Jersey, don't hire my cousin. He does inappropriate stuff with kids, 8-year-olds, sleepovers. And nobody called attention to that. Didn't call the cops. Tracy Riley and the scumbag to the lower right-hand side there in the orange, in that beautiful orange shirt, Cayenne Fraser. And to the far right, the moron, the lunkhead, in charge of the Atlantic City School District, Barry Caldwell. Well worth a 12% raise. Taxpayers were cool with that. Oh, some fine gentlemen Henry Hank Green in the foreground right here. Kevin Hall of the infamous Kevin Hall Show program. Kevin Hall Show program. Just drop one of the phrases. Can you, Kevin? Henry Hank Green and interviewing candidates, school board candidates. John Devlin right there in the middle. That's what we need in Atlantic City. Better journalists covering local inner city stuff. Hank Green and Kevin Hall. Two great community hyper-local journalists. Oh, yeah, just in case you wanted to know Marty, I've been doing some research for Marty Small because, as you know, Marty is still oppressed. Marty Small, the mayor of Atlantic City, is still very oppressed. He's very angry. Steve Young is he's not familiar with 1964, 1967. He kind of lost track of those years. It's all kind of a cloudy thing, so he doesn't realize things changed. But I digress. Ernest Corsi, Kaleem Shabazz, very offended by the oppression that every single day he feels. But I thought I would dig up this information for Kaleem Shabazz and for Mayor Marty Small that the largest population in the city of Atlantic City is Black or African American. The largest population, skin color-wise, I guess, because Marty, that is the number one thing that you determine the good or bad of a person, skin color. Yeah, that whole Martin Luther King thing doesn't really, you kind of forgot about that pretty fast, right? The whole content of the character, yeah. Because I don't think, Marty, that you would know how to really explain what Martin Luther King meant when he said, don't judge a man by the color of his skin, but rather by the content of his character. You would not do a good job of that. You know why? Because you would equally suck if you had to talk about 9/11, September 11th. Obviously, you forgot that you were invited to speak at that event a couple days ago, last Saturday. Yeah. And the press of Atlantic City forgot to do a investigative piece on how people don't give two shits about being patriotic. They're afraid to be pro-American. Embarrassed to be pro-American. Kind of like Stockton. Dr. Kesselman, can you take those flags down? Yeah, so Black is beautiful, and it makes up the majority of Atlantic City. And then right behind that, at 31%, is Hispanic or Latino. Then you have Asian coming in at 16.9%. So the Asian population makes up about 17% of Atlantic City. So far, Black Americans make up about 34% of Atlantic City. Latino, Hispanic, 31% of Atlantic City population. Asian, 17% of the population of Atlantic City. And then people that I kind of connect with because of my whiteness, being a slice of white bread. White people, Caucasoids, those with lack of melanin, those who, white people make up about 15% of the Atlantic City population. So I'm not sure how the white people have done it, but for them to control and be oppressors, but nobody wants to really talk about who the real oppression, where the oppression's coming from. It's pretty obvious, but everyone's afraid because, whatever. I think you know what I'm saying. Selective outrage, selective oppression. There you go. Oh, my God. Sweet baby Jesus. Marty Small loves this dude. He really does. Oh, he's fucking creepy. Oh, yeah. There's my two good friends. These gentlemen are going to be saving Atlantic City. And this photograph was taken just moments after Chris Brown, the former senator, he's on the left there in the light blue shirt. This photograph was taken when Chris Brown was chatting it up a little bit with his new BFF, Vince Mazzeo, the assemblyman who wants to occupy Chris Brown's Senate seat. Vince I have no regard. Listen, all I'm saying is just keep it between you and me. These are all allegations. Most likely it's complete bullshit, but it sounds really funny. Vince said, Chris, I got to thank you for getting the fuck out of the way. There's no way I would have beat you to become the next senator of the state of New Jersey. So thank you. And yes, Phil thanks you too for taking that $150,000 job. $150,000 salary to be some kind of a czar of Atlantic City. There's a lot of those. But now the one thing, if I was the agent for Chris Brown, like I was his manager or agent, I'd do a much better deal. I'd say, Phil, first off, Governor Phil, stop smiling. I don't want to look inside your mouth. Number two, I will step aside for that $150,000 a year job that I have no idea what the job description is, but I know what it, and I wanted to get the hell out of this job anyway. It sucked. You Jersey Democrats are complete nincompoops. And you're a king. You're a dictator. He really is. So anyway, if I was Chris Brown, Senator Chris Brown on the left-hand side there, who recently stepped down from his seat as a New Jersey senator, if I was his agent manager, I would have did a much, much better deal. The first thing I would have done was to make sure that Vince Palestina was going to have an easy time to immediately, officially take my place as a senator of New Jersey. That didn't fucking happen. What, did we miss that? I think you could have played that card. Vince Palestina, who has to go up against Melon Boy over here, king of abortions. See, that's the way you got to talk. You got to just kick him in the nuts because you know that one type of political faction will, rip you apart. Even your kids, your family, because that's how they roll. They'll destroy you. They'll cancel you. That kind of crap. They'll convince you that 1 + 1 = 3. They'll convince you that penises don't matter. That kind of garbage. And Vince is on that team. I lost track. But this is the kind of stuff nobody wants to talk about. Chris Brown should have made sure that Palestina was in there. That's disrespectful. Or stupid or neglectful. Maybe I don't know what I'm missing here. But certainly the Democrats and Murphy, they did not want Palestina to be considered a incumbent, I guess, and whatever benefits that bestows upon Mr. Palestina, who's up against Vince Mazzeo. They'll fight each other in November for that seat that was once occupied by Chris Brown. Chris Brown is the eyes and ears for Governor Phil Murphy, the Atlantic City czar of something. I have a whole laundry list for Chris to accomplish some. I kind of put together a honey-do list for Chris Brown. Step number 1, make the Atlantic City schools safer. Nobody ever brings that up, ever. Nobody talks about the dangers. Obviously, the child sex abuse thing proves that the Atlantic City School District really needs some tightening up. And Vince, put the abortion thing down for a little bit here. Keep it safe, legal, and rare. Not partial birth abortions and anybody can drive through abortion, all kinds of nonsense. Putting somebody in jail for not performing an abortion. I don't know how you do that. Why did you even co-sponsor that? Holy crap. But I'm sure the next time you're on the air with somebody being interviewed where somebody's blowing smoke up your ass, I'm sure they're going to ask you about the intricacies of why you are supporting the insane abortion thing that Phil Murphy wants you to swallow. Yeah. There you go. taking care of your kids. Laquetta on the left, Barry Caldwell in the middle, and a fine person. He was born with a penis. I do not know if it's been removed, but he's in charge. He was the Pennsylvania health guy or girl, Dr. Levine. Now he's within the Biden administration, working hard to help your kids. That's right. They're all on the same team. So if you believe that your kids might not be in the right body, I would vote for Laquetta and Biden and Barry Caldwell. I would support it all. I would support it all. And don't worry about the grades. Don't worry about if your kids are going to be ready to make money when they graduate. That's right. Feel free to take a look at the Atlantic City High School student survey of how they do well. 25%, not even 25, not even 25% can pass a math or English test. There you go. But don't worry about it. Marty Small has crime under control. There you go. Isn't that nice? Jeez. Marty has that totally under control. But we're probably going to wait around until somebody gets killed or somebody gets maimed or something like that. But until then, knock yourself out. It's stupid. Is he a him, a her, a he? Vote Mazzio. All right, very good. Thanks, man. I get out of here, Vince. I had enough of you. I had enough of you, Cash. I had enough of you. Had enough of you, Laquetta. Had enough of you. Totally had enough of this guy. Oy vey. Oy. I think that's all I can do. I'll save this for later. That's a lovely couple. Thanks, everybody. It's September 15, 2021. Go to acprimetime.com. acprimetime.com. Get on our email newsletter. And remember, it's another great day in Atlantic City, so never forget that, okay? Please, all right?
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you, and fuck her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. Now ain't that some shit? And all